Hello everyone, and welcome to a Create with Kiely art tutorial video. In this video, we will be completing a watercolor painting of a thematic still life that you've set up. If you haven't done so already, please watch my 2 videos about setting up a still life that incorporates unity, variety, and balance. Then you should watch the video about completing a study drawing of your still life. In today's video, we will be watercolor painting, so grab your paints and brushes and smash that like button to give thanks. Now let's be creative. If you have access to proper watercolor paper, it's time to switch out of a sketchbook and onto the real deal. Thanks to your study drawing, you're already well familiar with your still life, and this initial step should be a breeze. Using very light marks, draw a contour line drawing of your still life. Remember, watercolors are transparent and pencil marks will show through if they're too dark. Once you have an outline drawing of your still life that has correct proportions, stop drawing. Don't shade in anything. Put those pencils down. Simply use an eraser to lighten dark marks and clean up any unnecessary lines, and you're good to go. An underpainting is the first layer that artists put down when working in any type of paint medium. It is often monochromatic, which means you'll be working with only one color. The purpose of the underpainting is to set out the light and dark values of your painting. I'm choosing to complete my first layer with a purple blue because this is the color of the shadows that I see on the white sheets. Never use black for this. Black will gray down your colors and make them seem cold and lifeless. When you are painting and want to darken a color, use the complementary color instead of black. For example, when I want to mix a dark or desaturated green, I will use red instead of black, and it will give me a lively green that is darker than the one that I started off with, but not grayed down. Being familiar with color theory is very important when you start working with color mixing. Have a color wheel handy to reference as you go. With watercolor paints, the rule of thumb is to work from the lightest areas to the darkest. It is common for areas that are high value white to remain totally unpainted and have the clean white paper showing instead of trying to paint with white. Remember, you can always easily add more paint, but it is much harder to take it away. Try to think about the different artistic techniques that watercolors have to offer. These are the tools in your toolbox. The trick is to use the right tool for the job. For example, if you start with the background, pre-wet the area you first want to paint so that the paint won't run away on you. Don't forget that watercolors will move into wetter areas. This can create a pleasant effect if that's what you're going for, but it can also ruin your painting if an unwanted color bleeds into another. Other techniques, such as using layers of color to build up your painting, is definitely a good idea to use. Look closely at your still life and decide which artistic techniques will work best for you. Perhaps you may choose to use a little splatter or salt for a textured effect. What you shouldn't do is just use one color to fill in an area, like a coloring page. Using only one color without highlights or shadows makes objects appear flat. As I've mentioned in previous life drawing videos, a full range of value helps create the illusion of 3D form. This applies to working in color just as much as it does when working with the grayscale of graphite pencils. If you're ever unsure, use your sketchbook to experiment and try out mixed colors or techniques before applying it to your good copy. This is your still life, your artistic expression, so it's up to you to figure out which techniques will work best for your painting. There you have it, a watercolor painting of a thematic still life. I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and until next time, my friends, stay awesome and be creative.